Hello everyone, my name is Dmytro Choni. I'm a pianist from Ukraine and I'm incredibly happy to be back here in Liechtenstein and to play again with the Symphony Orchestra of Liechtenstein and Maestro Dawid Runtz. I hope you will enjoy this concert.
Hello everybody, my name is Dawid Runtz and I'm Polish conductor this week in Liechtenstein with Symphony Orchestra Liechtenstein for the first time in my life here. I'm very impressed by the wonderful country, city and people here, and I'm also glad that I can bring some Polish accent to our concert, the piece of Karol Szymanowski, a piece that was composed by a young person, very strong influenced by Richard Strauss at that time. A lot of Polish conductors at the beginning of 20th century, but not only Polish, but in general saying, young conductors, they were very much influenced by Richard Strauss, as he was a revolutionary composer, especially for orchestration, for treating the instruments, and he knew exactly how to get the strong and the power from the every instrument in the orchestra. And this piece by Karol Szymanowski, Concert Overture, is exactly like this. It shows the whole possibility of the orchestra. It shows the muscular sound. We have a very big Besetzung. We have 6 horns, triplet winds, a brass section, and I think it's quite spectacular sound. Maybe it's a little bit untypical because we think about Szymanowski. We know him from his both very famous violin concertos, but I'm very happy that I can bring his early work because it is not so often performed, and I always with a huge pleasure come back to this score.
I'm going to perform the piano concerto by Joseph Gabriel Rheinberger, a composer born in Vaduz in Liechtenstein, and he was very famous during his lifetime. He lived in the second half of the 19th century, and this concerto was written in 1876. It is his only one piano concerto, and it is beautiful, it's romantic, it's passionate. It has 3 movements. The first movement is written in a style of festive opening, and it's very maestoso, and of course it has different themes, lyrical themes, which I hope will touch your hearts. And in the end of the first movement there is a little probably dedication to Johann Sebastian Bach, a little fuga, sort of fuga, which reminds us of preludes and fugues of Johann Sebastian Bach. Second movement is very dramatic and lyrical, and you will be able to hear different instruments of the orchestra playing the theme, while piano is often playing supporting the orchestra, the accompaniment. But at the same time there is many moments in this concerto where you can hear the dialogue between the piano and the orchestra, some sort of chamber music which is beautiful. And the finale, the brilliant third movement, some sort of showcase for the pianist. It's full of emotions, full of passion and energy. So this is such a special occasion for me to play this piece, which was written by the composer from Liechtenstein with the Liechtenstein Symphony Orchestra. It's quite a unique opportunity. I'm very much looking forward to it. Hope you will enjoy.
Have you ever performed this concerto before?
No, it's going to be my first ever time
Great.
playing with this concerto with Dawid Runtz. So many exciting moments.
Nice. I like the beginning of the second movement, when you start so softly this piano, and then it goes smoothly to the orchestra. That's amazing connections.
It is indeed. It reminds of maybe of some of fourth Piano Concerto by Beethoven.
Yes,
The
there are
first
a lot
movement.
of elements that I find the sound of Beethoven in
Similar
the
to
orchestra.
Beethoven. That's
This
right.
unisono, pim, tam, tim, they play like a Beethoven. It reminds.
Yeah.
So maybe it was also inspiration for him, probably.
Probably, yes. I can also hear some little influences by Franz Liszt, by Robert Schumann. So
Schumann, yeah.
yeah, it's a beautiful romantic concerto.
For me, it will be also first time with this concerto, but I like the music very much.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Mahler is very special composer to me. I had opportunity to conduct this first symphony 2 years ago with Zagreb Philharmonic Orchestra, and with a huge pleasure I come back to this score. And whenever I open the score after a few months or years, I find some new elements. This score by Mahler is written very precisely, because we must remember that Mahler was not only composer, but first of all he was a great conductor. He was the chief of Vienna Opera, and there are very often we can find some remarks that he put in the score for conductors. For example, he put Anmerkung für den Dirigenten, bitte nicht eilen. So it's for us information that probably at his time the orchestra wanted to play faster, but we should keep the tempo and don't allow to be fast. Or he put crescendo in the orchestra, but in the second violins he didn't put crescendo, and he put also Anmerkung für den Dirigenten. Das ist kein Fehler, no crescendo in second violins. So it is for us, for conductors, to read his scores is very interesting journey, because it shows us his music from the conductor's point of view. At the beginning of first movement, he put information regarding to the atmosphere that he want to obtain. Wie Natur laut. And then we can find it's in his letters that he wrote that everything what surrounded him, what is for him the biggest inspiration in music, is the nature. And this is what is about the first movement, for example. It starts, when I close my eyes, I feel like I would be in kind of forest, because I can hear some birds from this side, played by clarinet, some cuckoo bird, then by flutes, and it develops slowly. And it's like spring, the opening of beginning of spring. I feel like this, that music. And in fact, this symphony, at the beginning, it was thought and it was written as a Tondichtung, the symphonic poem. And then after some time, he decided to cut one movement and do fourth movement symphony. But because it was thought as a Tondichtung, it means that behind of every movement is some story. Something is behind, hidden, what he painted with his music, by his music. And this is something special in Mahler's Mahler First Symphony. I think that the most popular and well-known part of this symphony is a third movement, which based on the famous melody Brüder Jakob. It shows, it presents a funeral march, and the inspiration was the painting, the picture, when the animals are going for the funeral, and there are some, every animal is doing some special things. Mahler put some information for us how it should be performed. He didn't treat it serious. He put in the score mit Parodie spielen. Also, so this is kind of a pastiche that he did in the third movement. And it is very nice going through, because it starts with the solo contrabassoon, then it goes to the Höhepunkt and comes again to the piano pianissimo in the orchestra. So this is really like the funeral march from the first until the last bar of this movement.